We are back 12:30, half hour to go. Spent a lot of time in the first 90 minutes talking football, but we got to get to the hoops, man, because I don't know that the Sixers want to be in the headlines this way at this time of year, because, everybody talking, football, let's get a little attention. They don't want this kind of attention, right, Matt Mullin?
Absolutely not. I don't think anyone wants this kind of attention, especially at this time of year when it should be like a quiet, dead period. Everyone can, I'm sure the Sixers PR staff is just loving the fact that, this was probably like their last week or so before things really started gearing up, that they could take it easy, and now they're forced to work all week. So,
well, Eitan Barrett and I were joking last week, as a matter of fact, saying man, this is going to be a long 16 days in between Eagles games. What are we going to do? Is the Ben Simmons stuff going to give us anything? We weren't thinking it was going to give us anything, and now here we have it. We got a full blown controversy.
If you want to know how little we were expecting this, our Sixers writer is on the other side of the Atlantic right now.
Kyle Neubeck.
So he's on a much deserved vacation right now. He actually filed a story this morning while flying from one place in Spain to another.
Jeez.
So but no, we weren't ready for this either. But it's nice to have something to talk about.
Yeah, it is, but this is getting kind of ugly now. I mean, obviously, Shams Charania, the Athletic, has been all over this, and the other day said, basically it's not a question of if they trade Ben Simmons, but when. And then the day after that, yesterday, this other bombshell drops where the Simmons camp with Clutch Sports says, oh, yeah, well, it's a question of when. He's not coming to camp.
Right.
And Tyrese Maxey's involved.
Luckily, that report has been walked back. The guy who originally, Kendrick Perkins, said something like that's absolutely false with 4 exclamation marks. And then the guy who originally reported it, he also said this is not true. So he completely walked. Thank God, because that was getting really ugly.
The Maxey part.
The Maxey part of it, yes.
Oh, okay. Because we were hearing, it was something about where he has events planned and they told him to cancel. They said cancel the events because you're not going to be in Philly.
Yeah, there was no update specifically to that part of it, but he basically said, Maxey is looking forward to being back in Philly this year, blah, blah, blah. And both he and Perk kind of said something to the effect of, that doesn't mean Maxey won't be in a trade if it's part of an actual, if it's for Damian Lillard or something, it would make sense maybe to have him as an extra piece in there. They both kind of said that could still happen, but it's not like he has to be included in any trade or won't be back next year or anything like that.
Well, how much power does Ben and his camp have as far as what his destination is going to be?
None at all.
Seriously,
he can say that he has preferences, but all that really does is hurt the Sixers' leverage. I mean, it's a really weird thing to have an agent, because Keith's report yesterday, I mean, it's pretty obvious where all of that information, what side of the table all of that information was coming from. So it's really weird to have an agent being like, we're demanding a trade, we have to get out, all this stuff, when the team's already actively trying to trade him. All they're doing is making it harder for the Sixers to trade him.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense why you would do that. Normally a guy requests a trade when the team doesn't want to trade him. Right. By all accounts, the Sixers are actively shopping him. So why would you handcuff your GM who's trying to give you exactly what you want?
Yeah, I was reading that, it's the 3 California teams. Well, and in fact, there's 4 California teams. I don't know if Ben knows that, but let's just try to convince everybody that Oregon is actually part of California. I mean, since essentially they are the same, they are very similar, and in what's going on out there. But let's just say Portland's part of California.
Yeah, I mean, it's the West Coast. West Coast is the West Coast. I don't see why that would be such a big difference. But I've also seen, so that thing about the 3 teams was in Keith's story and came from a Western Conference executive who said that. So I don't know how much he had heard or whether that was just his own thought on the matter, being that, Ben's from Australia. This would put him closer to there. He already has a house in LA, stuff like that.
Right.
And then Chris Broussard today had a report that said he's willing to play for 29 teams, just not the Sixers.
Oh, well.
So that helps the Sixers.
Yeah, if you're Daryl Morey, you love that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now teams won't, hold stuff back knowing that he doesn't want to go there or he only wants to go there.
Now, is there any Is there any sense of Ben now talking back with his ex teammates, or presumably going to be ex teammates? Like Ben talking to Embiid or any of the other guys.
It did. Danny Green did an interview over the last couple of days where it certainly sounded like he hadn't really been in touch with him. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but the snippets I heard, it didn't sound like he had really been in touch with him. I had thought that he wasn't really in too much communication with the organization side of it, but apparently, I guess, according to the report yesterday, they had a meeting, I guess, last week. And as far as like guys like Embiid and Tobias and Curry, I don't know, but it seems probably like they haven't. If I had to guess, I would say they haven't had much communication based on other reports and other things I've been hearing, but you just don't know.
Well, Joel went on a tweet storm this morning. I know
He
you're
did.
aware of this, and he
Yes.
basically said that that's fake news, that he and Simmons are on the outs.
Yeah, well, he didn't quite say that. He said he likes playing with Simmons. He didn't say he likes Ben Simmons, that they're best friends or anything like that. But he certainly shot down the idea that they can't coexist on the same team.
Right.
I mean, I think we've all come to understand that, which is why that report kind of seemed strange. That was stuff that was being talked about 2 or 3 years ago, not really in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that Ben and Joe are enough to get the team to a championship? I think we've seen over the last 2 years, probably not. But yeah, I mean, I think everyone's reacting to that Joel run of tweets. Like, he said something about the fans in there, that fans need to be better. And that's all anyone is reacting to from that.
Yeah.
And I mean, as expected, that, for how tough Philly fans like to portray themselves, it's tough to play. They're really soft when
they're very thin-skinned
when the athletes come back at them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so people are getting real offended by that. But like, if you read his thread, he says the media needs to be better.
Yep.
And not push false narratives. He said he needs to be better, which is part of the reason why they didn't go as far as they wanted to. And he said fans need to be better. He's not ripping fans. He's saying all of us, we all need to be better, which I don't know why people are getting so upset about it.
No, I thought it was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
He took ownership. He's showing the signs of a leader.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't heard anything from Doc about everything that's going on right now. Doc Rivers is kind of fading into the back, letting things, I guess, unfold in front of him before he, really goes into it. But I mean, where is he at in this whole situation?
Well, I obviously think Morey takes into account how Doc feels about players and stuff when he's making moves. I mean, Doc Rivers he's not Brett Brown in the sense that, when Brett first got here, because Doc is only a year in, where he was a new guy. Doc's won championships. He knows what he's doing. So I think he definitely defers a little bit to him. But as far as why he's not, out saying anything, or we're not hearing from him publicly, he doesn't have to. And, the team probably doesn't want him to say anything. I think they would ideally like something to be resolved with Simmons before Doc has to speak publicly at training camp.
Right.
I don't think they want that to be hanging over, especially if he doesn't report. It's all going to be, where's Ben? How does this affect the team? Trade questions, locker room questions. That's all it's going to be, instead of looking ahead to the season.
Yeah, I like the fact that, I used to hate when they'd hang Brett Brown out to dry for all these situations, and nobody would speak, and he was the only one that could speak on it. That was unfair.
He looked so uncomfortable when he was doing it also, man.
And that's not what he was brought in to do. And that's not what, coaches shouldn't always have to do, especially personnel decisions like that. If it's over playing time or something that they specifically control, but don't hang them out to dry like that.
Right. Yeah, he wasn't brought in here to be the spokesperson, and he wasn't brought in here to be the GM, as evidenced by him taking Zaire instead of trading Mikal Bridges. Absolute disaster. Where is Zaire? Where is he right now? Is he at Walmart? What's he doing?
I don't know where he is right now. I would guess in the G League.
You think? Okay. Oh man. Anyway, I don't mean to bring up old dirt, but Now, what do you think? Do you think this does get done, and are we going to like it, or are we going to have to sit here and say, man, 60 cents on the dollar looks pretty good to me?
I'm a little bit worried about that. Going into it, I trusted Morey. He's not going to get swindled. He knows what he's doing. He's not going to settle for something less. Now that this stuff's coming out, it kind of forces his hand a little bit, but I also think he's not, I know he's not dumb. I don't think he have to take 90 cents on the dollar. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be 60. I don't know. I still think there's a world in which they work out a 3-team deal. I think that might be part of the reason why this is all taking so long, is because it's not just going to be Simmons and someone for Dame. It's going to be Simmons to the Warriors for a bunch of players that gets flipped to the Blazers for Lillard. I think it's going to be something like that. I'm worried it's not going to be that. It could wind up being McCollum or something like that. But I think it's going to be obviously Lillard, that being the goal now for everyone. Anything less than that is going to be a disappointment. Yeah, and it's funny because everything you read, even that comes out of the Athletic says, Dillard is the target. Dillard is the target. Yeah, you got Eagles on the mind. Right. So it's not just fans that sit here and pine for Damian Lillard. It's obviously Daryl Morey. That's his white whale too, right? Yeah, exactly. And he missed his white whale last year trying to trade Simmons for Harden.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So now I don't think he wants to make that same mistake twice. I think he wants to make sure he gets this done.
How'd you like that Moby Dick reference there, Matt Mullin?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it.
That was kind of amazing. I
call you Ishmael.
That's exactly. Oh, nice work. See, he takes it to the next level.
You've been around us too long, man. Speaking of white whales and all this and all that, man, look at this team, the way it's constructed right now. Where are they at? Saying even if Ben is not there, where do you think they are as far as in their conference? With the guys they have right now.
Yeah, with all the other moves that all the other teams have made, there's been a lot of moves.
So you're saying without Ben, no one replacing him?
Yes. Or without anybody replacing him?
Without anybody replacing him, I still think if with a healthy Embiid, I still think 5, somewhere in the middle. Of the playoff picture. Definitely not hosting the first round, I don't think, but maybe 5, 6, 7, somewhere like that.
I think they're still
because again, they'll still be competitive, but again, what will happen is those days where Embiid can't go, whether it's rest or he's going to miss 15 games or so a season.
Yep.
They're not going to have nearly as strong of a team to go up against those other opponents. So they'll lose more of those games, and I think that'll hurt them more than anything.
Now, what if they do get a Damian Lillard to team with Embiid? Are they the tops in the conference?
Yeah, they're the favorite, or second. They'll probably be second favorite behind the Nets, I think. But it'll be a lot closer. I mean, I think Lillard is just such a perfect fit to go around Embiid. I think they would play off of each other so well, and then you put other shooters out there with Green, Curry, Tobias. I mean, that's gonna be trouble.
I think that goes to number one, because now you have a balanced team. You have a power down low. Now you have an accurate outside shooter. I really don't think at that point, if we got Lillard, that even the Nets could compete. At this point, because they have shooters from 3 shooters, but you have such a balanced team from that point on that it'd be hard to defend them. It was hard to defend them even with a guy that didn't shoot, let alone a guy that can shoot.
Right, and I think I would put them right there, 1A, 1B. I mean, I don't see much difference. They could be above. Some people will put them above the Nets. Some people will put them right below. But I think, that would be a great series. I would love to see a 7-game series like that.
Wow. And I'd be ready for basketball season to come. But at this point, man, it's like a merry-go-round, a carousel with Ben Simmons, man. The mere fact that these other GMs see how babyish he's acting, it's just not going to bode well for us.
It's not good for his brand, man.
Right, not at all.
And on top of that, the fact that he's had one glaring weakness in his game for however many years now, and he's says I'm committing to working on it, whatever, and it hasn't improved. I mean, that I think more than anything is the damning thing that other GMs and coaches have to look at.
Absolutely.
What do you think of what they've done thus far in the offseason? You know, whether they get Paul Millsap or not, what do you think about the job that they've done so far?
I think considering there was such, this Ben Simmons sized elephant in the room that they didn't know what was going to happen, I think they did a really good job bringing in pieces that, because at the time, we didn't know whether Ben would be back, pieces that fit around him, or if they had to get rid of him and bring someone else in, that they also fit. I mean, I don't think any of the moves they made are, going to add a ton of wins or subtract a ton of wins, but I think that, I think they did pretty well for themselves.
Yeah, I like the Drummond move. I mean, Dwight Howard served a purpose, but to be able to replace him with Drummond, I think is pretty cool.
Yang too. I think he's going to be a good shooter on the outside, a good backup 4.
3-point guy. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The more guys like that you can put around Embiid, the better.
All right. Now, do you get to take a vacation between now and football, and with all this stuff, the possibility, or what? I mean, what do you do?
I had vacation a couple weeks ago. I was off for a week. But I am playing some golf on Friday, playing Glen Mills on Friday. So
nice.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'll be right back to work.
You got to tell me
what you played there before?
I did. I played there like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Loved it.
Was it in good shape? I mean, that's a great layout. Yeah. Okay.
Great shape. Yeah, because I had heard, the kids used to do all the maintaining of the course and stuff. So I had heard that it might not be as in good of shape. I thought
that's what I heard.
Shape.
Okay,
I thought it was in great shape. Yeah.
And those guys, those guys, those kids that are there, man, they make them be so hospitable when you're there, man. Hey, how you doing, sir?
Yes, sir, no, sir.
No, they're not there anymore.
What?
Yeah, they shut the school down.
School's shut down. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, there was a big investigation into like abuse and stuff, and they shut it down.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm playing cricket club on Monday.
Ooh.
Never been there.
Nice.
I've heard.
Never,
not to play.
Yeah, I haven't been there to play. I've been there for tournaments and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm looking forward to that, man. Where are you playing, Barrett? Barrett's going to Kansas City to cover the South Dakota University of Kansas football game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not playing anywhere. I'm watching them play.
Right.
What'd you say?
Getting some KC barbecue.
Oh, well, of course I'm going. I'm definitely going to get some barbecue, man. That's first and foremost. And there's a White Castle's on every other block there too, so I'll be in heaven, man. I'll be good.
You're going to gain 20 pounds till you get back.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. We appreciate you jumping on. You got to follow Matt on Twitter at Matt_Mullin. Read all his stuff in the Philly Voice. We love Philly Voice, and enjoy the golf, bro.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right, there he is.
Bro. Hit him straight,
Matt Mullin. So
it's kind of damning on Ben, man.
It really is.
Because
it's not good for the brand.
No, not at all, man. And that's what it's all about. That's all Rich Paul is about, is building that brand.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right, man. You look at a guy. The only thing that his game doesn't fill all the check marks is shooting, and he still hasn't went out there and tried to shoot, man.
Well, and here's the thing: you see all these stupid videos, which I don't even watch anymore. It's just clickbait, and I refuse to buy in, of him shooting in a gym in Los Angeles. Who cares if he's not willing to do it in a game? So what?
It doesn't matter,
right? It doesn't matter.
And
it's only more frustrating. You're like, oh, he's shooting in pickup games, but he won't shoot against the Atlanta Hawks.
Right?
I mean, what is his problem? Like, I hate the fact that I get this way with players in our city, but I get to the point with so many players for every team where I just want them out of here. Why is that? Why does that always happen here?
And we never get to to be happy full time, man. You know what I mean? It's always something. You know what I mean? You look at other teams. You look at a team like Golden State like 3 or 4 years ago. They had it all, man. They had it all. Shooters, guys, but we never get that.
Right.
I know.
I mean,
even the Super Bowl we won, we had to fight, scratch, and claw with the second team quarterback.
Yeah.
To make it. We really didn't get the full ambiance of being a great team. It was a team with a bunch of guys that, they're gritty and stuck together and played beyond what their capability really was to win a Super Bowl. They made it more fulfilling at the end.
Which some would say is fitting for Philadelphia.
Right. That gritty type of hardworking, blue collar, but
yeah. I'm sick of this blue collar crap, man. Give me an elite team for a couple of years that I can watch, play into the championship. Let's go to force 5 straight NBA finals. That's what I want. Why can't I have that?
I don't want to have to keep taking these, antacids, every time I go on third down, oh my goodness, here we go, third down.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.